for me, over the next few minutes, I'll talk about something that I'm really excited about, which is reading. We heard all these great talks about producing and distribution and so on. I'm mostly interested in reading and creating a great experience. So I'm one of the founders of a small reading service out of Berlin, which is called Readmill. We provide an easier and more beautiful way for readers to enjoy, share, and discover books that they are reading or want to read. We're around 10 people now, and we're very excited about the future of reading in the kind of digital world. And we've been building Readmill for around 1.5 years now, which is, for me, quite a long time. And I thought I'd maybe look back and kind of share some of the things that we've discovered along the way, and some of the things that we've found that it's important for us, or maybe hard or surprising. So I have 5 things, or it's not really things, it's more kind of stories, which now when I look through them from my seat, I just felt like, okay, this industry is moving so fast, so these are now quite obvious, which made me a bit uncomfortable. So let's see where that takes us. So first of all, I think we discovered the hard way that content is really hard. There's so many ways to acquire books for readers these days. Self-publishing websites, free content, smaller retailers, big dogs, and everything in between. And with Readmill, we kind of thought like, oh, we'll build a great reading app, and then we'll start by supporting like one format, and then move on to other things that are more exciting. People will sideload them into the reader, and everything will be beautiful and amazing. That was kind of wrong. I don't think we could have made a bigger mistake. Buying from retailers is like insanely complicated for readers. And there's so many things that are broken in that process. What you're seeing here is a FAQ from one of the bigger publishers that are selling directly to consumer. It didn't even fit on this slide. It goes on for like 5 pages or whatever. I didn't even have the capacity to scroll to the end. And these stores are all missing kind of an essential thing. How do you get from buying to reading in a very, very simple way? It tells you for 8 different devices with at least 3 steps for every device how to get the book from your desktop or from this site to an actual place where you want to read it. I mean, I don't think it's so weird that Amazon is killing it when this is the alternative. So at Readmill nowadays, we think it's important to let users store all their books in one place and do that really easily. A place where they can access them from anywhere and read them, hopefully in the future on any device. So we still have a long way to go before to meet that goal, but we're very committed to that vision. But somehow a cloud doesn't really make it easier to get books into that cloud. It's still kind of complicated. So we built a way for retailers to help their customers to get from buying to reading in one click. It's a little button, which is kind of like a Facebook-like button, but with an ebook attached to it. So when you click it, you pick up your device and it's there. So something like an Amazon's WhisperNet, but for everybody else that doesn't want to sell only on Amazon. We launched it earlier this year, and now we're working with lots of great retailers around the world. Some of them who are here in this room, I think. And some of those stores are now seeing over 30% of all of their customers' purchases go to Readmill, which is pretty cool. And this is customers that not only read them, but also share highlights and micro-recommendations to these books that have been bought. It drives more traffic and drives more sales to those retailers as well. And those retailers become more happy, hopefully, and the authors make more money. If you'd asked me 1 year ago if we would ever do a phone version, I would have said like, yeah, it's not that interesting. People really want to read on small screens. And I, for one, really think that the iPhone or phones in general is the reading device for the future. It's our most requested feature by far. And now also that we see web traffic kind of flattening out and mobile growing exponentially, and also the kind of innovation that's going on around displays and resolution, I mean, it's simply amazing. The Google Nexus came out 2 months ago, right? And iPad mini was announced this week. And I mean, regarding the iPad mini, I don't know, coming from Sweden, I saw what happened when Apple released the iPod mini. The iPod was kind of a niche product for early adopters, music fans. But when the iPod mini came, I didn't see anything but wide headphones on the subway for months. And I think we're up for a similar ride, actually. And I definitely are one of the believers that Amazon is building a phone. Otherwise, they will have a really hard time going forward, I think. But these kind of devices, it's kind of hard. A lot of people are saying to us, you know, reading on backlit displays, it's weird and so on. I recently read a study on actually experience and how your eyes actually get tired from reading on backlit versus e-ink. There's no truth in that at all. There's absolutely no difference. It has only to do with the design of that reading experience, the margins, the typography, navigation, how simple it is to read and how easy that reading is on your eyes. The easier you make it, the more people can read and the more great books they can enjoy. So we're spending a lot of time on that. We also now believe that people really want to get motivated. So I don't know if you recognize Katarina Fake. She actually lives not too far from here. I'm a big fan of hers. She founded a company called Flickr. And she also did Hunch, and now she's doing a new company called Findery. She's super cool. I'm a huge fan of hers. And she's an avid reader. I mean, a bit too crazy avid reader, I think. You look at her book here, which is actually exactly in this moment when Readmill was kind of incepted. I took this picture, and I got so amazed by her and by this book, so I decided to start a company just to solve her problem and not being able to share what you see in that picture. If you talk to people about reading, a lot of people are saying to me, you know, I wish I had more time. I wish I had more time to read. But the problem is, time is not something you have, right? You make time for things in your life that is important. And I think that's an important key to understand for the future of reading. So when we got started, we thought a lot about Nike Plus, but we thought about it in the totally wrong way. We thought about it in terms of data, in terms of you know, people congratulating you for reaching a chapter or for things like that. Nike Plus was never about gamification or statistics or rewards. It was all about getting people that wanted to run out on the streets running. And I think the same goes for reading. Because reading is kind of like a run for your mind, right? And we're building the tools to get you running again. And I think this is very exciting. And it can be all from small things like showing you how much time you have left to read in the book. And some people email us and say, oh, when I hit 50%, when I can see that I have less time left than I have spent, that's an amazing motivation factor. And I always thought, like, oh, shouldn't the book be that motivation factor? But I guess this helps, right? Or when somebody comments on a highlight that you've made, saying, yo, actually, I know more about this. This is kind of background story. I think that's highly, highly engaging. And I think something that we are talking a lot about in building tools for is facilitating connections between readers, between authors, and also between readers and other publishers. And readers really want a way to connect. It's funny, we think about books as kind of non-social, or at least a lot of people that we've met over the past 1.5 years do. But it's weird. It's one of the most discussed topics on the web, hands down, right? And people have been recommending each other books mouth to mouth for decades. We just have to create something that's equally powerful in the digital world that makes you want to read more and connect more without those two things disturbing each other too much. And that sounds like an easy thing, but it's actually quite hard. And so authors and readers have, I mean, we're still very early in the beginning of this, but some of them have actually started connecting. Actually, I'm seeing here, it says connecting on Readmill. This is actually Twitter, so I'm lying here. But what we do is we let people, or authors, opt in to, when somebody starts reading a book on Readmill and share that on Twitter, we actually give the author the opportunity to exchange their name for the Twitter handle. It's a simple thing, but it's also powerful because it opens up a real-time communications channel between the reader and the author. So the author can kind of follow that person on Readmill, check what highlights the reader is doing, and check in maybe in a week or two if the person hasn't finished the book. I think that can do awesome things for finishing rates. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about things like this. We've also found out, and I guess, I mean, I'm probably the only one that didn't know this, there are as many ways to read as there are readers. This is Jonas. It's a friend of mine. He grabbed me last time I was in Stockholm. He said, ReadMe has totally changed the way I'm reading. Sometimes I just log into the site and gaze at my highlights. That's kind of funny. It's become artifacts in his life that he cherishes. It's cool. This is Richard Ingram. He started a competition with himself. Can he finish? Can he finish 52 ebooks in 1 year? Using Readmill to kind of track his progress and see, use that as motivation for it. And I can tell you he's on track. He's finished 45 books, and I think we're in the 45th week, if I haven't calculated wrong. He's spent over 560 hours of effective time reading this year. That's insane. And we do some stats on him from time to time, and it's funny. He seems to be reading at work, which is interesting. Everybody's not a night or evening reader as I am. 560 hours, it's over 10 working weeks. It's interesting. So with Readmill, we've kind of created a place for users to shop anywhere. Well, not really, but almost. Have their books in one place and read on different devices and connect with like-minded people in the margins of the book. Hopefully, this will help people to read more, get more excited about reading in the future, and also discover better things to read. So with that, I just want to say, enjoy reading. But wait, since we're in San Francisco, I got to do this as a European. And I'm proud to announce that the thing that is our most popular feature request is soon going to be done. We are coming to the small screen that I think that everybody wants to read on in the future. And it's happening very soon. So if you sign up at readmill.com/iPhone, we'll give you early access. And I know that some people here are really excited about it. Thank you so much.